Welcome to Fantasy Kingdom. I'm your host, Mikey. That is Howie. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing great. First place. Yeah, I can handle it. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, the Commanders are. Now, how are you doing in fantasy? That's the real question.
I'm 2-2 and 0-4.
So you're finally enjoying your actual football team rather than your fantasy team.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this season. It's weird to get your butt kicked and still not, it's like, okay. I
I
mean,
know we're at week 5 already. It happens so quick.
yeah. And I'm still not out of it. You know, I can always go back to that season where I went 0-7 and 7-0 or 9-0 the
Yeah.
second half and won it all.
Well, especially since you just picked up Gibbs and Chubb was activated.
Yep.
Now they opened his 21-day window. Man, imagine if Chubb and Gibbs get going.
Oh,
Changes your entire team.
what if Tua comes back and he can throw to Tyreek? What if Ingram comes back and he can catch the damn ball? I mean,
That's a lot of what ifs.
on paper, I got the best team you could want, and none of them are playing, or they have a quarterback issue, or it's hey Tommy,
Yeah, I didn't change the name, so it says Tommy.
that's okay.
I'm sitting in a hotel in Monterey as my daughter turns 16 this week.
God, when you told me that, I felt so old.
You are old, but it's okay. So am I.
Jeez,
So am
man.
I. So, anyways, let's jump in. There's some injuries around the league that are going to impact people this week. What do you got on tap?
Well, I've just got a few biggies. You got you got Taylor, neighbors from the Giants. Mixon, he's hurting in Houston. Shakir in Buffalo. Adams at the Raiders, although he's probably not really hurt. He's saying trade me, get me out of here.
Hmm.
And then there's a plethora of injuries throughout the league. It's pretty bad out there.
It is.
Hawkinson is back practicing. Chubb is back practicing. A lot of your pup guys, that started the season on the pup list or things are coming off at the practice. So um, it ain't over yet, guys. I mean,
It's
there's
early. It's early in the
it's
year still.
early in the season. Like I said, I'm 0-4, and I don't consider myself out of it. I'm only like 2 games out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't care if I come in first place during the regular season. If I can sneak into the playoffs, I'm in, baby. You know,
It's a lot of ticket, right? Just get in. That's the whole
that's it.
point.
That's it.
Spain comes in and says, I just picked up CD Lamb, Malik Neighbors, JSN, Sam Laporta, and Singletary off the free agency.
Wow, who the hell's dumping their team?
Right?
I mean, who? First of all, who is going to dump CD Lamb? Who's going to dump Neighbor?
I I wonder if he has one of those teams that if the guy isn't active, they eliminate the team and all those players go out to free agency.
Either that or Spin is screwing with us.
That's Ben too.
That's because I
Jonathan
mean,
comes in, says, "What up, guys? Got a few for you. Full PPR. Start one A Chain or Moss. Also start one JSN or Worthy. I'm probably going A Chain over Moss.
yeah, and Mostert's back too, so that's going to pull a little bit away from H.
Yeah, but
But
Moss is split in
Moss is
50-50.
he's splitting with Brown and
Brown has
yeah,
been getting the goal line carries.
yeah. Well, that's why I picked up Akers today to put
Hmm.
in there instead of Moss because he's just not he's there, but he's not doing anything for me.
And
I
I'm
would go.
going Worthy over JSN.
That's how I would go. That's how I would go.
I think Worthy's going to have to be a bigger piece now that Racy Rice is down.
Oh
The
yeah,
whole Hollywood. I just think Juju Smith-Schuster, someone you should be looking to grab off of the waiver wire if he's out there.
yeah. He's gonna have
As
to
he's
step
going to be,
up.
yep, he's going to have to step up. Also, keep a sneaky eye, and this could be one of your deep digger pulls. Is McCole Hardman.
Yeah, and their running game is just terrible right now. Hilaire is coming back.
Hilaire's coming back. Hunt is questionable,
Yeah,
even though if he
he,
starts, he's going to be good.
at
But
least he knows
you know,
he knows the team. He
yeah.
knows their setup, and which could be good for him. But
Hmm.
he's a wait and see type of guy. Absolutely. But Hilaire's coming back, and they when he's healthy, they use him.
All right, CJ Stroud or Josh Allen, who are you rolling with?
Ooh,
I'm
God,
going Josh. I always go Josh.
CJ Stroud. Since I have to pick one, uh, I think with Shakir down, I'm going to go with Stroud. That leaves you with Coleman and Kurt Samuel and your tight ends.
hmm
So, they need to let Cook start cooking.
Yeah.
But
Um,
that's why I'm going to do it, because plus the new way they're finally playing Josh Wright. They're playing winning football, not fantasy football with him.
yeah.
So I see Stroud maybe coming out better fantasy wise. That's my pick on that.
You are wrong. Let me tell you.
Who's
Um,
this?
Scott comes in and says, "Where was I? I worked out of town yesterday, and then I drove into Monterey with the family to do a family thing with my daughter. So Tommy took over for me last night. Appreciate him. And Tommy always misses me when I'm gone. It's okay. Coleman or Worthy? Ooh, I'm probably going Worthy here. Although I,
Coleman is probably the better receiver, but Worthy's going to get the work.
yeah, because Coleman still has Kincaid
Yeah,
and Samuel and Hollins and those guys, and Josh still is going to move it around to where
yeah,
Kansas City is already down a couple guys to where Josh is only down one, and that's Shakir.
yeah, yeah. Just
So
just the amount of work Worthy's going to get over
yeah,
Coleman. Just the attempts will
I
probably
mean,
be.
it could be wrong. It could be wrong. It truly could be Coleman. We don't know. We have no
Yeah.
idea what this offense is going to look like without Shakir in it because he's been the top target.
Yeah. It's the game to watch this week. I'll give you that. I mean,
Yeah,
all you guys are Buffalo fans, so that's always the game to watch. But
not
this
all,
is this is
but
pretty
most.
big. This is pretty big.
Yep. Stevenson or A Chain. Stevenson was just benched for fumbles. They came out and said it. So they're starting Gibson, Antonio,
and,
former
and
commander.
who was traded from the Commanders because he fumbled too much.
So I would probably go Achan. He just seems to be more of a focus over Stevenson. Also,
Yeah,
I like Miami's offense better than and this is, I can't believe I'm saying this because neither offense has looked good to this point. But
right.
I would trust Miami's offense over the Patriots offense. You
And
feel the same way?
they're in New England, so they're not going to the heat's not going to mean anything. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's definitely the way to go.
Ooh, look at this team. Mahomes, Gino, Carr, Lamb, St. Brown, London, Neighbors, Dell, Addison, Mooney, Ridley, Jason, Wandell Robinson, Jerry, Judy, K. Williams, Hall, Stevenson, White, Singletary, Kincaid, Angela Porter. Holy crap, you have an all-star team. Is it
Yeah.
just you by yourself in that league, Spin?
How many quarterbacks do you start in that
They
league?
start two.
Just
This is a super
two?
flex league.
Oh, I was going to say because really, if I had to pick between his three quarterbacks this week,
hmm
I'd pick Gino.
Would you go Gino and Mahomes or Gino and Carr?
Uh, let's see. I think the way Carr's been playing, I'd go Gino and Carr. Mahomes is dropping. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's
hmm
for a football player. He's probably the best quarterback of the three. But if
hmm
for fantasy, he is so far down the line. He's ranked like 15 in the high
Yeah,
teens now.
yeah.
He's not your number one anymore.
No,
Not
you normally
I
want the
mean,
guy who's playing from behind. The Kirk Cousins, the Matthew
yeah,
Staffords, the guys who are just be chucking the ball all over the place.
right.
The Tuas. Those
Well,
guys.
and normally people would say, "Oh, I want Mahomes," and that's true because he's a winner.
Yeah,
But fantasy wise, it's like Josh. They're both maturing, and it doesn't have to be them be Superman all the time.
I don't know if I
And
like it.
they're learning. Well, it sucks for fantasy, but it's great for their. I mean, if you're just a football purist, you want them that way. You
Yeah,
want that quarterback to be on your team for another 5 or 10 years. You
yeah.
don't want him going out and well, Buffalo would. I bet you Buffalo would sacrifice Josh at the altar of the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
I think if you guys got a Super Bowl and he
He said
broke
he would
both legs,
sacrifice his, he said he
both
would
legs, he
sacrifice
couldn't come
himself
back.
for it. He said
Yeah.
he would sacrifice himself for it. He's already
Yeah.
said that in an interview.
Well,
Spin got
Washington won all their Super Bowls with different quarterbacks, so why not? You know.
yeah. Spin got those guys from eliminations. Last place team each week gets eliminated, and the players go to free agency.
The team
He always
gets
has the weird ones that he
and
plays in.
if you get last place, you're eliminated from the league.
Yep. At the end of each week.
Jesus, what do you started with 10, 8 teams? Wow. God, I wouldn't have nothing to do. I'd be out in both my seasons. Mixon or Cook. Mixon is out.
Yep, so it's automatically Cook.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. Just picked up Jawan Jennings. You think he can keep up the pace with fantasy? As long as the other guys are out, yes.
Yeah.
It's when they all return. That's when you got to worry.
And when they return, he's still a good football player for the Niners. He always is. But he fades into the background as soon as the big boys come back in.
You know, Spin's not wrong here. If Tommy's picked him up, he's now jinxed him, and, you know, he's going to go into fantasy, you know, purgatory. Okay. Let me go up here. Would you trade Wilson for Shaheed and Judy if it meant getting Brees? I'd have Keenan, Brees, and Brooks, and then have JJ as my wide receiver one with Dante, Waddle, Wicks, and Dell on the bench. So would you trade Wilson for Shaheed and Judy? Do you get Brees Hall as well?
Oh, yeah, I would do that.
Wilson for Shaheed, Judy, and
Shaheed is Carr's. You know, he loves going deep to him.
Yep.
You know, he doesn't dink and dunk.
Judy's catching the ball better than Cooper is right now. And if you can get Brees for giving up Wilson, I would take Brees over Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, although Brees is starting to get moved into a timeshare with Allen.
Yeah. But I mean, just the two receivers for Wilson.
Yeah.
Because Wilson, as good as he is, if you can't get him the ball, you're not worth it. And Rashid, I mean, has been catching every week. I mean, he pisses me off because I got Olave, you know, and I would do that. I don't know.
So he would be giving up Wilson, Stafford, and Jacobs for Brees, Shaheed, and Judy.
Yeah.
Redraft super flex with Mahomes and AR as my quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, it sucks giving up Jacobs because you don't know what he's going to be in the second half of the year.
Right.
But, you know, I don't think it's horrible. I think you give up more than you get, but you're basically doing it so you can get Brees Hall if you want Brees Hall. Otherwise, you know, I think you're giving up more than you would get back, but that's just me.
Sometimes that works.
It does. Okay, let me see if I've missed any recently. All right, let me go back. Okay, and then it says, okay, Jonathan comes in and says, if B-Rob doesn't play, would you go Javonte or Justice Hill? PPR. I'd probably go Javonte. I think he's going to get more run than Justice Hill. Yeah, Justice Hill had a good game last week, and people are going to be chasing that. You know, he's not going to go against that vaunted Bills, you know, run defense every week. Oh, did I say vaunted? I meant Swiss cheese run defense.
Yeah. That's why I picked up Akers.
Because and they're missing Ed Oliver, and they're back up one tackle on the inside. So that's a good pickup for you. All right,
it was weird because he was way down the list too.
Two separate seasons
of projections.
That's why. So it's two separate seasons. This is his that league he's playing in.
Oh, okay.
Eliminated, so it's two separate seasons. That's kind of cool.
Wow. Half our guys couldn't handle that.
No.
Too much thinking.
Winner gets $100. That's awesome. Justice Hill is a hit or miss each week. He is.
Well, especially now that they, you know, that they're playing their run game the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It says, yeah, I'd be downgrading at wide receiver, but I have good options on the bench and having Kyron and Brace as relax. And that's the type of give and take that you have to go with.
Yeah,
You know, if you're confident and it's in your gut, make the deal. Know you're giving up more than you're getting back. But if you have those players that fill it, you're filling a hole of where you didn't have it. So
right. Need going for a need is real important.
yeah. Like I made the deal with Howie where I dealt him Gibbs for St. Brown. I didn't want to give up Gibbs by any means,
Mhm.
but if we're trading keepers, he needed a young back. I needed a young receiver on our
It's
team. So it
simple.
was a win-win on both ways. Although I didn't like giving him up. It
Most people
wasn't
say
fun
you're
by any
giving up.
means.
You're giving him up. Oh my God! What
Yeah.
is it? Collusion? It's like I need a running back. He needs a receiver.
Receiver, and it
They're
worked.
basically equal. If you look at a comparison sheet, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, a receiver is a little more valuable because
I see it's the other way. I think the running backs are more value because they're so scarce,
Well, I'll
especially
tell
in
you, yeah.
our dynasty league. You know, you can get a receiver. There's receivers coming out every year. Running backs, it's tough to hit on one of those things.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I mean, I'm hurting so bad for. I mean, my top guy was Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still waiting on Chubb. I went out and I thought I was a genius by picking up Blake Corum.
No, we all think that.
It's like, and I've still got him because it's like he's a good player, and he's not hurting me to keep him on the bench. So
Scott says, Daniels or Allen for a Pepper. But
Daniels,
Scott ain't gonna eat a pepper. He did that last year, and he said
I
he ain't ever doing that again.
Daniels. We're talking
Allen,
fantasy, you know.
Allen, Allen's gonna light it up this week. Watch
Well,
after
hey,
last week.
well,
Do you think Chubb's worth stashing? And when do you think he returns and will he produce good fantasy numbers? If you're looking for Chubb to produce, you're looking for Chubb in the back half of the year to produce. I think it's going to be another 2 weeks. I think they're going to take the full 21 days to bring him back. And then when they bring him back, I think he's going to be in a timeshare to start with Ford. And they're going to bring him along slowly. But where you really want him is for the playoffs. So
yeah,
do I think he's worth stashing? Absolutely.
absolutely. I drafted him.
Hmm.
I drafted him and I drafted him in a keeper position, so I get him next year as long as I don't dump him. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Having Jefferson as my number one definitely helps, and then having Deontay and having the red rifle now at the quarterback
that
is
makes a
helping
big difference.
for Deontay, because he wasn't anything with what's his name back there, the former
Yeah.
number one overall pick, the little guy,
Well,
Bryce
you
Young. Young,
yeah
that was his name.
yeah.
Waddle, and then with Tua back, if he comes back, Wicks and Dell aren't bad
No.
options as well. No, I like well,
Wicks is
and
coming on nice right now.
Wicks is coming out nice. Also, Romeo Dobbs hasn't been seen at practice in 2 days because he's mad about the situation. Christian Watson's hurt again, so it's basically Reed and Wicks.
Yeah.
So it's a really good setup. Um,
And
Will
Wicks is drawing the better, the lesser coverage.
yeah, because Reed's gonna draw the top guy.
Hmm.
Will McCaffrey return in time for fantasy owners? I have him on my team. Is why I'm asking. The
I'm
whole
telling you.
McCaffrey thing is odd. They say he's coming back. He started rehab. He started this week. So they're saying anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks.
Well, at first it
That's
was
saying
one
there's no
leg, and then it
setback.
was both legs.
Yeah.
So there's no telling. And people forget that he was injury prone before he came to the Niners.
Yep.
That was the big bugaboo about McCaffrey. He's great when he's playing.
Hmm. So he's like, I must win. Pepper's still burning my ass from a year ago.
I don't have
Steven,
to eat a pepper this week.
nope. Stevenson's are Pickens for flex. It's Pickens 100%. And the reason why is Stevenson's not even starting. He was
Yeah.
benched. It's going to be now Antonio Gibson that's handling the majority of the rock in New England. CeeDee Lamb has the perfect bye week because Mooney would have been on the bench if he was playing right. Oh, Judy and Shaheed too. I could try to package 2 of them for another QB since it's super flex, or maybe another good running back. Yeah, you could. You could. Just don't leave yourself short at receiver. Guys get hurt all the time. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Gibson time. Raven for Life 716. It is it is Gibson time. I mean, to see that all of a sudden that Stevenson has fumbling issues is odd. Because he's been carrying the rock for years without fumbling issues.
Yeah.
New coach, new rules.
Yeah. I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock in Gibson though.
Damn these ads! I need to order. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I don't know what it meant.
On our shows on Friday night, everyone talks about the ads that run when you're watching it, not when we're doing it live. And
Oh.
Tommy's my co-host, so the fact that he's in there and now he's seeing the ads, he's like, "Damn these ads!"
Oh. Okay.
It's a running joke from our other shows.
I see.
So, do we want to jump into the studs from last week?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, quarterbacks. We had Jordan Love, who dropped a 40 burger on people. Justin Fields, who continues to get better and better every week. I hate to tell all those Russell Wilson fans, he ain't getting the job back.
No.
And then Baker Mayfield, who's continuing his renaissance in Tampa Bay, which is awesome.
Yep.
I mean, I wasn't a huge Baker guy, but man, it's good to see that he's having these renaissances.
It seems like once he stopped doing commercials and all that bullshit,
Yeah,
he got down to playing football.
I mean, he had a kid, and like things changed
Kid,
for him.
beautiful
And,
wife, everything
yeah.
was great, doing all these ads, but his football play was,
Well, he also played really well in his second year, and then his third year he got hurt and he tried to play through it. And I mean, let's be honest, Cleveland quarterbacks haven't done great.
right.
He got out of Cleveland, went to Carolina, where that was just a crap show when he went down there. Like Sam Darnold was there too, and you see what Sam Darnold was doing in Minnesota.
Right.
And then he went to Sean McVay, did well with Sean McVay, then landed in Tampa Bay and has done well there. I'm happy for the guy. I like seeing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Mostert versus Demarcus Robinson. Who are you going with?
I think you got to lower your expectations on Mostert to begin with.
Yeah.
They're gonna probably have him on a account. Not work him too hard. I don't know. It depends what kind of shape he's in. I don't know what kind of chest injury that was, but I think Robinson is going to get more work with the Rams.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. I'd go with Robinson on that one.
Traded Ramondre for Waddle. That was a fantastic trade, because then Ramondre got benched right after you traded for him, and then got an offer of Garrett Wilson and Stafford for Rice and Pacheco. The night Rice got hurt, definitely accepted that one. Nice. That's rough.
He traded away Rice and Pacheco?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pacheco was already hurt and then traded away Rice. That's,
No, that's good. I mean, somebody, I don't know, somebody got suckered on that one.
What side of the trade is better, Tyreek, Montgomery, and BTJ for Mason, or JT and Diggs?
Wow.
Ooh.
Montgomery's doing better than JT.
Yeah.
Mason is ranked up there like 1 or 2 right now, just because of their situation.
This is a pretty even one. I would prefer the Tyreek, Montgomery, and BTJ over Mason, JT, and Diggs.
I think so too. I mean, God, those are both really good setups. Tyreek's just, Tyreek is totally Tua dependent.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah. I mean, nobody's been able to get him the ball.
Yeah.
The defenses know that we got a crappy quarterback that doesn't have a good link with Tyreek.
BTJ's coming on.
Yeah.
Montgomery's a fantastic back.
Montgomery's solid.
Yeah, in Detroit. I mean, Montgomery would be even better if he didn't have a Gibbs. He would do so much better. But since he has Gibbs, he's in a timeshare. Yeah. JT's always hurt. He's good when he's on the field. He's hurt. And Mason, we don't know how much longer he's going to be able to run. And then Diggs. Diggs has been really good this year.
Yeah.
I think I like the Tyreek Montgomery BTJ the best.
Yeah, because Diggs is the best part of that one trade, and then you've got more guys. Yeah, I would stick with the with Tyreek in that group.
Yeah, Christian Kirk or Pickens.
Kirk has been. They're finally using him, and if Ingram comes back, that gives them a little bit more of the field to mess with. I'm gonna go with Kirk.
Just Kirk.
Yeah, I like him.
I'm going to go Pickens. I think I like what Pittsburgh's doing better, and it seems like Fields getting more and more confidence every week. Demarcus Robinson hasn't impressed with Kupp and Puka out. No, he hasn't. You know who's been the one that's impressed there is Colby Parkinson, the tight end. He seems to be the go-to guy that they want to get the ball to. Mason's going to decline when CMC gets back, and that's going to be 2 to 4 weeks from now. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we move forward. Okay, so let's finish going through these. The studs from the running backs. We had Derrick Henry just had a field day with Buffalo's defense. Kenneth Walker III, who returned finally. We saw the debut of Kenneth Walker, and man, did he look good.
He was in good shape.
Detroit. Yeah, and then DeAndre Swift. We had a DeAndre Swift sighting.
Yeah.
Honorable mention is Kamara, who had a really good game. Mason, who we've just been talking about, and then Chase Brown, who outdid Zach Moss. Earlier, we were talking about Moss, and we said that Brown's been getting most of the goal line carries.
Yeah.
From a receiver standpoint, Nico Collins led the league last week for wide receivers. Then Jaden Reed, Wicks, man, that the Green Bay almost came back to get that one.
Yeah.
Then the honorable mention, we had CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, who you talked about last week as a rebound week, and then he did well on Thursday night too.
Yeah.
And Malik Neighbors, who got hurt. Listen, if you have Malik Neighbors, you play him. He's a must start every week because he's a target monster.
Right. Yeah. If he's in, you will play.
Yeah,
he's out this week, so they're going to probably go to Wan'Dale Robinson.
Okay. Span comes in and says Kamara, Cook, Connors, Jacobs. Who do I sit?
Just for one, huh?
Jacobs.
Connor.
You're playing Jacobs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think
who's Connor playing?
Connor's playing San Francisco.
And without Fred Warner, though.
And Jacobs is playing
without Fred Warner and Hargrave.
Yeah. I think Jacobs is going to have a good week.
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I mean, I like them all. Actually,
you've been winning.
Actually, the one I might said is Cook. That's a pretty tough defense he's going up against.
Who's missing defensive linemen on both sides? Buffalo and Houston are missing defensive linemen. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm.
I mean, they're all going against tough setups if you look at it.
Yeah.
Against Kansas City, Cook's against Houston, Connors against the Niners. Jacobs has technically the easiest path. He's not the best running back of the four, but he has the easiest path in this week.
He's calling you out, Howie.
What?
You said that last week, and Connor got 17 points. I'm sitting Jacobs.
Okay.
But hey, you do you. All right. Kyler or Burrow? I have Jamar Chase. I'm probably going Burrow. I mean, he's going against a tough defense in the Ravens. I don't know if Ravens just had the Bills' numbers last week and it snowballed, or if the Ravens really have bounced back. I have no idea what to make of the Ravens' defense right now. Like, they have talented corners, but I have no idea what to make of them. And I don't even know what to make of the freaking Bengals, man. Like, they're losing weird ones that they shouldn't lose. It's odd.
Yeah, it's a strange season. Yeah, I think if I had to go, I might go with Burrow though. You got Chase, go with the stack.
Yeah,
go with the stack. What the hell?
I mean, they've started to connect last few weeks.
Yeah, because Kyler's not a for sure. I mean, as good as they are, and you know, as much touted as Harrison is, they still haven't got a connection yet.
Yeah.
He's got a better connection with Wilson actually than he does with Harrison. You know, so and I'm not sure if McBride's back yet.
Yeah. I'd go Burrow too.
Yeah.
When we see his career's done, it might be. You know, when you have tendonitis in both of your Achilles, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's good you guys can split that way. I can blame one of you either way if I lose.
There you go.
There you go. That's fine. I think the Ravens D looked good because the Bills wide receivers are horrible. That's possible. You know, like everyone thought the Bills wide receivers were better than they were, but man, the Ravens also have good corners. You know, and they shut those guys down. You know what I mean? They locked on.
Josh does make receivers look better than they are.
He does.
You know, come on. I mean, Diggs was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, but everybody else they've had is the only reason they're doing anything is because Josh gets them the ball.
Yeah.
They're not
No,
they're not going up and above and winning, you know, jump balls and you know doing one-handed catches and all this shit. They're getting solid shots right in the chest that'll put a hole in them if they miss it. You know?
or they're getting free way downfield and Josh is running around and just chucking deep.
Yeah. So
You know.
yeah.
But you know, he's not. I don't think he's wrong. So Heather comes in and says Jalen Waddle, Amari Cooper, Tony Pollard, or Garrett Wilson, and T. Higgins. Who got the better of the trade?
I'm still laughing at Amarillo Cooper.
Yeah.
You see Jalen Waddle,
Cooper, and Pollard for Wilson, Higgins. For Wilson and Higgins. I'm thinking the person who got Wilson and Higgins got the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, group?
Okay. Let's finish out the studs. We'll go to the tight end. So we had Kraft, who led everybody. Man, that Green Bay team just feasted on points in a losing effort. Freiermuth with Fields, you know, bringing people up. And then we had a sighting of Travis Kelce finally.
Yeah, he's, you know, people have bad games, and tight ends are having a tough season all over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything wrong with Kelce, you know.
Oh, no, he just wasn't getting the ball.
I'll give him a bad game every now and then. And with Rice out now, it's gonna fall on him.
Yeah.
You know?
And then honorable mention, we had a returning George Kittle and Taysom Hill, who returned to the lineup. So those were our studs for last week. All right. So let's dive into some sit starts. So we had some in here, so keep putting them in the chat if you guys have some. But I will start with quarterback. Would you start Justin Fields or Geno Smith?
Pitt is playing Dallas. Geno's playing the Giants. I like Geno. What he's got going with Metcalf lately is really something.
Okay, you like Geno? Okay, would you go Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson?
Well,
that's not a great quarterbacks to have to go with. But what are the other?
Who other than Watson?
Watson or Lawrence?
Watson. I think I'm going to jump on the Lawrence bandwagon this week.
It's hard to go with Watson, isn't it?
It is so hard to go with him. I love their defense, but unless he can pull off some, you know, big play with Cooper, I don't see him doing anything. You know, he's not the Watson of old that's going to get you. It's going to score 54.
The Houston Watson. We haven't seen that Houston Watson yet.
No, haven't seen it. I don't think we will. I think once he got his money, it was in his brain. It was over.
Well, he also sat out for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
and you can't take
That's
time
what I'm
off
saying.
like
It's
that.
mental. So it's so much mental that you know
Mhm.
he doesn't have any kind of fire under him.
Yeah.
He's getting
Yeah.
paid whether or not. And
Mhm.
I don't believe that people say, okay, I got my money screwed. I'm going to sit here and be lazy, but it does mess with your head.
Yeah. Heather comes in and says Malik Neighbors or CD. Who's better? I have both on my team.
Uh,
If Neighbors is healthy, I would have gone Neighbors. He's the target monster. However, you can't go wrong with CD. And if there's a way, you play them both.
yeah, but this week Neighbors is out, so
Yeah, Neighbors out, so you're on CD this week. Um, T Money said, I just made a crazy trade. Tell me what the trade is. I am very interested. Oh, here we go. 10-man PPR, Burrows, Jacobs, Gibbs, CD, Kincaid, DK Wicks, Brown, Worthy, Myers, IR2 slots. Just traded Connor and JMO for Gibbs. Ooh,
hmm.
that's a good deal. If you had the receivers, so you were able to give up Jameson Williams, who's coming on, and
Oh yeah,
trading Connors for Gibbs. That's a good deal.
yeah, great
I like
deal.
that. I like that deal. That's a good one.
Good job.
Single digits or Javonte Williams?
There you go. Let's see.
I'm going
Uh,
Singletary. I
mm,
don't I don't trust that Denver run game at all. And if it is, who knows if it's gonna be Javonte?
that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I'll give the
Okay.
Giants a little bit of credit this week.
And you a little love to single digit.
A little. Just a little.
That's a good one.
He still might not score more than 9 points, but that's what. But he could still you know
Is
keep his
Singletary out
nickname.
this week?
I know he
He
was
he, he, he didn't
he
come
was
up across my list. I know he was limited in practice. Is he out?
right. I haven't found him out yet.
If he's
Take a good look at that though.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if he's out, then you're going to obviously go Javonte. But I thought he was just limited, and Singletary's always limited from the years that he was with Buffalo, and he still plays. So if
yeah.
he's out, then yeah.
We got
Oh, he's
Singletary
very doubtful to play. So
doubtful.
that must have been an update. When I saw it yesterday, he was just limited in practice, and so
Well, they play. They're in the 1 o'clock 1:25 game. So keep an eye on that one because they're in the last game of the day. There's not a
mhm.
whole lot left. Sunday night and Monday. Um,
The
in
same thing
case
with
you
ETN. ETN's has been limited all week. It was
right.
questionable.
So check this stuff out first thing in the morning. Make sure because you're not
Hey,
gonna because if those 10 o'clock games go by, it's gonna be slim pickings.
yeah. Someone who you might want to grab is Tank Bigsby this week because if ETN doesn't play, he's going to get the majority of the carries. Okay, so would you go Najee Harris or would you go Jerome Ford?
Hmm. Let's see. Well, Cleveland's playing Washington.
He went points projected 13 to 0.72. Yikes! Yeah, then they're not expecting him to play.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
just saw him as limited. I didn't see him as doubtful or out. I just saw him as limited in practice. Yeah, ETN is one of those guys who's on the blocks too. We definitely Bigsby's someone that you should go grab. Like they said he was a healthy non-playing last week, and then he's been limited in practice all week, but they haven't said for what.
Hmm.
So Najee or Ford?
Najee Ford. Okay. Pittsburgh is. Where is Pitt? Pitt's playing Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Ford's playing Washington.
Washington.
I think Ford.
You like Ford?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like Washington's run defense.
Okay. You can go Brian Robinson Jr. or you can go DeAndre Swift.
Um, I think Brian Robinson Jr. is dinged up a little bit.
He's also
So,
playing Cleveland
so
versus
I'm gonna
Swift, who
go.
has
I'm
Carolina.
gonna go with Swift.
No Swift this week. Okay. I like that. Are you going to go Trey Sermon or are you going to go Zach Moss?
Sermon.
Sermon is the backup for JT.
JT's out.
Yep. That's
So
why I said Trey Sermon.
Sermon's going to play.
Yeah.
Geez, Richardson's. I'm not even sure. What kind of shape he's in. So Sermon will probably get most of the carries. Yeah, I'll go Sermon.
Yep. You know Sermon over him? Okay. Over Zach Moss?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tank Dell predictions. I have a feeling they're going to try to force feed Diggs this week against Buffalo.
That would be the thought. Oh, that's just I don't know. I don't think they're going to try to force feed. I think they're going to use him at when they can. But he'll be the guy over Tank. He'll probably be the number one this week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could have a field day though, because if Collins and Diggs are locked up on the outside with Benford and Douglas, we have the backup in Cam Lewis that Dell could be eaten.
That's true.
We're also without Rapp, without a couple guys on the defense, so the defense is hurting. We have like 6 starters on our defense out this week. Might not be a bad idea. Start 2 full PPR: Olave, Wicks, Etienne. I'm going Olave and Wicks.
Olave and Wicks.
And we have no idea what Etienne's status is going to be.
And Olave and Wicks are excuse me. Wicks is coming on, and Olave's an every week start. And with Etienne questionable, it's pretty
makes
simple.
it easy. Okay. Would you go Rico Dowdle or Braylon Allen?
I saw something about Dowdle. I would go Allen.
You go Allen? Okay. Would you go? Well, Bigsby's going to probably start. So would you go Bigsby or Madison or Gibson? Start 1. Bigsby, Madison, Gibson.
I like Madison.
Like Madison over all 3?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I almost picked him up instead of Akers today. He was on the waiver wire ahead of him.
You are 1,000% right. The injuries in the bye weeks cut out a lot of these, decision makings. You're playing who's available to you.
That's right.
Yep, you're right. Team Money. Most of the receiving yards are coming from inside. Without Tron Johnson there, it's kind of a field day, and without Poyer and Hyde in the middle of the field, and no linebackers. The Bills' defense is hurt. That is what it is. Okay, let me go to the receivers. Would you start BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr., or would you start Michael Pittman? Brian Thomas is against Indy. Pittman is against Jacksonville.
I think I would go with Pittman.
Okay. I'd go BTJ. Would you go McLaurin or Shaheed?
McLaurin. Shaheed is a big play receiver. Doesn't get a ton of catches, but when he does, they're long ones. But so I think the other way, not Shaheed.
Okay. You're going McLaurin? All right.
McLaurin. Because he's the go-to guy now.
Mm-hmm.
And with Noah Brown out, that just leaves that Olamide, Zacharias, and I can't even remember our other receiver. So, yeah.
Okay. Spence projected to score 229 after Thursday with Mooney and London going out. And Mooney dropped a bad one, too. That could have been big.
Yeah.
Why is everyone so pro Wicks? Because Romeo Doubs isn't showing up to practice. Jalen Watson's also hurt. So you're seeing Wicks vaulted up in the passing target area. That's why.
And Reed's drawing the coverage.
Yep, and Reed's drawing the coverage. Thank you. But that's why you're seeing it. Like if Doubs was there, if Watson wasn't banged up, you wouldn't see Wicks as high. But because he's now target number 2 or 3 in the route projection, you're seeing his stock rise.
Yeah, it's basically attrition. You know,
Mhm.
you're down to him. You know, and he's a good ball player.
Yep. Leggett or Wandell Robinson.
God, I love Leggett because of
I
the
know
red
you do.
rifle, but Wandell is well. Wandell's not going to have neighbors with him this week, but that means he's going to draw the coverage. So I think I'm going to go Leggett.
Okay. I like
I
it.
really do. I really do. I mean, Robinson catches a lot of balls and everything, but without neighbors there to, you know, draw the coverage away from him,
Hmm.
I think it's going to be tough. He might get his targets, but that doesn't mean he's going to. They might be all over him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Jacoby Myers or let me find him. Alan Lazard. Lazard's
Hmm.
kind of the go-to there.
Yeah. I gotta go with Lazard. I mean, Jacoby comes up with some good work every now and then, but he's just
Mhm.
not the guy. And Lazard, even
No,
though he
Brock
doesn't
Bowers
put up a
is.
ton of yardage, he's leading in touchdowns. I
Yeah.
think he's got like 5 or 6 touchdowns. So
Okay. Wanda Robinson's PPR king right now. He is. He gets 10 targets every week, and now with the neighbors out, it's probably gonna get more than that. You know, Deontay Johnson got a hot hand. He does. Like, and Red Rifle's just constantly feeding him,
that's the
which
difference
is
right
great.
there.
Yeah. Are you going Keon Coleman or are you going to go Alec Pierce?
Man, Pierce is the big play guy there.
Mm-hmm.
Coleman is another show me. He's a really good. I mean, he's really good, but he's not getting. Shit.
While you're thinking about that, I'm going to go to this question: Tank or Wandell flex? I'm going Wandell. Wandell's going to be the target monster this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, I would probably go Wandell over Tank almost any week because Tank is in a timeshare with Diggs and Collins versus Wandell. It's just him and neighbors.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I'd go Coleman. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. But you're also a Bills fan.
Who's the other one besides Coleman? Coleman.
Coleman or Pierce?
God, I hate being the anti-Buffalo guy all the time.
No, you don't. You thrive in that crap. Don't lie.
Okay, well, let's then. I think Pierce has a better chance of a long touchdown than Coleman does.
Okay. Hey, you do you. Would you go Kincaid or Ferguson?
Well, uh,
Ferguson at Pitt, Kincaid at Houston.
I'm going to go with Ferguson because he's the only other person they have to throw the damn ball to. I think Cook is hurt. Cooks is hurt, or he's banged up. So I'm going to go with Ferguson for that reason.
Okay. Tucker Craft or Pat Fairmouth?
Tucker Craft.
Okay.
I mean, what better name to have for a cheesehead? Kraft,
Right.
the All
I
American cheese.
hear Alan's gonna throw to someone. It's gonna be Kincaid. You're not wrong. Okay, so let's go to your Howie's deep digger. Who's your deep digger picks?
I'm going to go with Jordan Whittingham
Okay.
from the Rams. Uh, I think he's definitely going to be somebody to look at, and I'm going to go back to Leggett again. I really like him. Wicks, of course, Wandell. Those are the 4 I had for my deeper plays.
Okay.
I like those guys a lot. Um,
And really, if you guys haven't, if Tank Bigsby's out there, make sure you snag him up because one, we don't know what's going to happen with ETN
right?
with an injury, or if he's going to get dealt.
Yeah.
And
There's a few guys that came back this week. If you're needing a running back, Mostert's back, Eckler's back. They're dinged up. They're down the list a little ways, but running backs are so thin that Brian Robinson might not play for the Redskins this week. So that will
And
bring
Eckler's
that.
out.
Well, Eckler's back in now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, Eckler and Mostert are both back this week. So
So
that
Eckler
doesn't
might be
mean
the play this week for
Eckler might
Washington.
might be the play.
Okay.
You know, if he's healthy, he's always really good. But the two of them together have been really good for the team. You know, but fantasy wise, Eckler might be the one. It's a tough defense to go against no matter what.
Yeah.
But since you got a running quarterback and a halfway decent offense right now, Eckler might be the play.
They do have Stingley. Don't they also have Gilmore? Isn't Gilmore on that team? Didn't they sign Gilmore in the offseason? Because they have two corners there now. I thought they signed Gilmore as well. Coleman will handle. They will to manhandle Stingley. Okay, that's just a internal comment. All right, so let's go over to last week's hot pepper challenge. Did you win or lose?
I won.
You won your hot pepper challenge. No pepper eaten for you today.
No
So,
peppers.
all right. So, what is your hot challenge this week?
My hot pepper challenge this week is I think Tyreek's going to get 88 and a touch.
Ooh, okay. 88 total or 88 receiving? Because he's been running the ball lately.
Let's go total.
Total 88 and a touch.
I don't think he's going to run so much this week with Mostert and HN back. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our X factors this week. What's our X factors this week?
Our X factor this week,
Which you won last week.
which I have won most weeks.
I think you've won every week so far.
That's right. This week we are going the showdown between Cook and Akers,
Okay.
and I'm picking Akers to outdo Cook.
Okay. Sounds good.
So
Sounds
and
good
that's
to
the
me.
game to watch anyway. Buffalo Houston.
Boo! No pepper. He won. You know.
I told you I was going to start making picks that made sense. You know, I'm not pussy picks because this is a tough one.
Whoa. Aaron Rodgers just got put as doubtful. Would you play Dylan? This is AR. Anthony Richardson or Aaron Rodgers?
Richardson, probably.
Oh, Richardson.
Yeah, he's the one that goes by AR.
When I hear AR, I always think Rodgers.
Yeah, no, he's the new AR.
Okay.
He's the AR too. He's always hurt.
Would you play Deontay or Wicks as your super flex over Stafford? No, I would go. Well, if Stafford's your only quarterback, then you play Stafford as your quarterback, and then you have to go with a different one. If I had to pick of the two, I'm going Deontay.
Yeah. Well, God. If I had to pick between Deontay and Wicks, right now I'm going with Wicks. He's just got the hot hand.
It's
Deontay's got the hot hand too.
You know, also it's in Indy. It's Flacco time.
I like Flacco.
Yeah, I know you do. You seem like that type of guy.
You ever notice how much he looks like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. Yeah. Any final things before we log off here, as I have to go check out?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we got the X Factor, we got the chili pepper, we got the deep dives, we got just remember we'll be back at our regular time next week.
Yep.
And crush that like button, right?
Yes. Subscribe, hit the
Hero.
notification bell, all those fun things. We appreciate you guys riding with us this week and giving us a bunch of great content to talk about inside the chat. And we'll see you next week. For Howie, I'm Mikey.